Okay guys, welcome back. D2 Everything. As promised, gonna do a quick install video on what they call the Naked Wrap. It's by Slickwraps. Came with this handy dandy little cloth, so I guess we'll clean the phone up as requested in the video. So I am absolutely atrocious at doing this kind of stuff. I hate doing it. I hate putting screen protectors on. I hate, I've ordered a couple of wraps from a company called D-Brand. I'll put a link down in the description. At some point in this video, there'll be a link you can click on as well that will take you guys over to my initial unboxing so you can see what came with the Slickwraps wrap. But this video is simply going to be an install/review of how well it installs. So, it says in the instructional video to clean it off real good. So we're cleaned off real good. It came also with a couple of stickers. One's a Slickwrap sticker. I assume this is for promotion, but I'm going to use it for dust removal. I assume that this is going to be just like a screen protector. Obviously, you're not going to want any dust going underneath it or what have you. So, we're going to see how well a guy like me can do this. Because, like I said, I freaking hate doing it. So, this thing came with two different wraps. One has little cutouts for the buttons on the side. This is going to require a hair dryer as well, apparently, and that's all you need is just your wrap and the hair dryer. So let's see how this bad boy goes on. It says that it's very easy to align, can be done with your hands. All you got to do is line up the pieces with your camera and set it all down. So let's line up the camera first. Of course, it's going to slide around like crazy on here. Really? Can you hold the phone so it doesn't slide like that? Thanks. And we're going to try and line up the cutout. And the bottom of the phone. Looks like we're pretty lined up there. Okay, you can let go. Looks like we're pretty lined up. So what they say to do when installing these is to use the thing that came with it and kind of, press down. This is not like they make one that's what they call their clear gloss finish. This is the matte finish, M-A-T-T-E finish. And this one doesn't come with their, what they call slick juice or whatever. And you're just supposed to apply some pressure to get the pieces to take and to stick to the side. Apparently it can also take upwards of 24 hours for all of the extra pieces to stick and to stay. Again, these pieces need to be heated up by a hair dryer. So my camera crew is gonna grab her hair dryer here while I do this. And so the camera's gonna go a little wonky here while she grabs the hair dryer, guys, because I'm still filming. You can kind of see here that apparently these bubbles go away up to 24 hours, and the edges are actually all supposed to be heated up so that the adhesion works properly. So we're gonna go ahead and get the hair dryer on it here when I can turn the camera back over to my camera lady, and we'll see how this turns out. doing all this in real time here, guys, so bear with me. Again, like I said, they request that you heat it all up. It's gonna be noisy. I guess you're supposed to heat up the edges and the whole wrap. It's a really, really hot hair dryer, so that's probably about all it's gonna need for the back part. And we'll see if we can get this to stick down properly. You know, this is not the right environment to be doing this with. All the corners are already freaking, you know, getting shit stuck to them. And yeah, this is just gonna be a freaking nightmare. You know, these top parts are supposed to wrap nicely around for like a full body fit. So what I'm doing right now is just trying to get the corners to wrap around and fit where they're supposed to fit with my finger first. Of course, the install video that they did for the matte finish was actually just for the edge, or just for the back. It wasn't actually the whole entire body. So this whole entire body one just does not feel like it wants to go on flawlessly. I would recommend that if you're gonna order one of these, because it looks like this is probably gonna look all right. It just and it's definitely a decent fit. I mean, it's the buttonholes are where they're supposed to be, and the pieces are wrapping around properly. It's just what I've already got. One of the first problems that I noticed is that this is already, that's kind of on me. But I'm already getting crap all stuck to it. So that's gonna absolutely drive me crazy. Like literally will drive me crazy though. Come off it. Yeah, so this is not really something that you want to do if you're not in like a fully sterile environment without little pieces of lint and shit. It's ridiculous. So I guess you're supposed to heat these corners up, wrap them down, heat them up. I'm gonna fold these into place here first. I would wager that, you know, although this is gonna keep scratches from getting on your phone, on the stainless steel, that the corners aren't gonna look very nice. They're actually probably gonna look extremely ugly if you were to look really close at them anyways. But I will say that the fit is definitely right. It's definitely cut with laser precision in terms of the fit. And of course, we're not using one of these guys. Like if you look at the corners here, you can see how it's crinkling up on the corners, right? Now what you're supposed to do apparently is you're supposed to apply the heat to it, give it 24 hours, all the bubbles and all the air will come up. So what I'm gonna do right now, you can kind of see how it's it takes the bluster away from the stainless steel sides. Definitely the stainless steel sides look nice, but I don't want them getting all scratched up. And for the purposes of this review and the purposes of the way the phone looks, I've decided that I'm gonna go caseless. So just because the phone's such a nice looking phone, this is the iPhone 11 Pro Max in midnight green. So these fit relatively well around the tray where you take your SIM card in and out. A little bit big there. That could be the way that I'm installing it, but I feel like this is gonna look pretty nice and it's gonna stop my phone from getting all scratched up. So what I'm gonna do is what they've requested. I'm gonna heat this up now. So you're in for a little bit of sound here again. I'm gonna heat it all up and do one last run over and we'll see how this looks. Okay, now one more quick rub. It says to use some decent pressure. It helps getting the bubbles out. It also helps mold the adhesive right down to where you want the adhesive to be. So so that's what I'm doing. Trying to stick with it on the sides here. Stick with it on the top, because the side pieces are the pieces that fold around it. You really want to make sure that this stuff's fitting where it's supposed to fit, because if you have even mild levels of OCD like I have, it's not going to fit right. It's not going to look right. And like I say, if you're like me, it's probably going to drive you absolutely batty. So just trying to give it this one last, especially around the camera here. Make sure there's no bubbles anywhere. You know, so now let's take a look at this. I no longer really see my Apple that's on the back of this at all. As a matter, well, you can kind of see it a little bit. Like I say, what Slickwraps says in their install video, and what I've pitched a couple times in this video, is that it needs to settle for about 24 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of give you guys a quick look at how it goes on when it's first installed. And then I'll come back and I'll give you guys a peek at it, what it looks like after 24 hours. That way you can decide if you want one. I got this for, I think it was $15.99 plus $4 shipping off of Slickwraps website during some 50% off sale. I know there was just recently a Black Friday sale as well. So these can be relatively expensive, but what Slickwraps does to offset that is they give you a guarantee, and their guarantee basically says, hey, this thing's goof proof. Go ahead and order it. If anything happens during the install process, then what we'll do is we'll send you out another one as long as you get in touch with us within 30 days of purchase. Now, I don't know if you saw my other video, but this thing has already almost taken 30 days just to get here from the time I ordered it. So we'll see how it looks tomorrow, and we'll give you guys one quick look. So this is right after install. You can see a little bit of discoloration here. Obviously not a huge deal. Doesn't really afford you any grippiness compared to what the phone is without it. It fits relatively well around the buttons. You can see where the wrap itself forms. The only thing, of course, that bugs me is if you get a good look there at the corner, you can see that it starts to bunch up because of the way that you have to put it around the corners. It's doing the exact same thing on this corner, starting to bunch up a little bit, fitting pretty well around your volume switch here. All right, you got to really make sure when you're putting this thing on that all the pieces are going in the right place. You know, it looks all right. Again, each corner, this is where the pieces meet. You know, it doesn't stick that well, but the purpose of this, for me anyways, and I would assume for most people, there's your speaker holes there, is so that you can rock your phone without a case on it when you feel like it, without having to worry about scratching up your glass. Might afford you a tiny bit of protection in terms of shatter protection, but I wouldn't imagine very much at all. I've got relatively unobstructed access to my buttons there, my power button there. So that's kind of how it turned out, guys. This is what they call the matte one. Apparently the gloss one, you can still see the apple quite well, and it gives you a highly reflective deal. This is obviously gives you more of like a matte. You can barely see the apple anymore. And what I'll do, guys, for you is I'll come back again in 24 hours, and we'll see how this looks once it's fully settled. And go from there. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Please make sure you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, help us get the word out so other people don't waste their money on online shopping. Out.